So my name's Julia. I'm a flight attendant for a Canadian airline, and I've been living with type 1 diabetes since 2007. Being a flight attendant is probably one of the most exhilarating jobs you can have. You never know where you're going to end up. It's something that keeps you on your toes. Taking care of diabetes can sometimes be a challenge in that you're focusing on your passengers and their needs, that sometimes it's easy to put your own aside. I use the Medtronic insulin pump with auto mode. It is something that has been truly life-changing in that I've had fewer lows and fewer highs, and it keeps me closer to the middle range. It is something that gives me confidence when I'm flying and in overall life. I think what auto mode means to me is peace of mind. It means being able to go to work and be able to focus on the tasks at hand and worry about my passengers and not have to worry so much about where my blood sugar is trending. I know that auto mode is going to reduce my insulin and increase it when I need it to. That being said, it's also a safety feature. We don't have much medical access when we're up in the sky, so having that built-in feature is really something that makes me feel more secure and confident in my diabetes management. My favorite tips to give when flying is to always make sure your diabetes supplies that you need right away are always accessible. So that means having a designated bag that has those items that you need. You don't want to be rifling through a suitcase, an overhead bin, trying to get low supplies or trying to get insulin. You want to have it below the seat in front of you, easy to access at any given moment. That way, if you're stuck in a window seat, you're not bothering the people beside you either. So I like to use a little travel pouch like this. The top of the pouch has a clear place here where I keep my batteries, my tape, a little bit of hand sanitizer, gloves if I cannot wash my hands on board. Some planes do not have running water, so having a spare pair of gloves is always a good idea. I also have a little note from Medtronic here showing that I wear an insulin pump. Sometimes that can be helpful when going through security. So then over here we've got my charger for my transmitter for my CGM. I've got my spare meter, 2 reservoirs, and my low supplies. So the pouch on the bottom is a cooler. So this is where I keep my insulin supplies, as well as my Baqsimi nasal glucagon, just so that I can keep those temperature sensitive items relatively cool. I always have 2 ice packs in there, and of course, needles just in case I need to do an injection for a high. When it comes to packing diabetes supplies, you really want to pack double what you'd normally use. If I were to go on a trip that's longer than 4 days, I would want to pack this in my backpack, or what we call a personal item. The rest of my supplies I'm going to pack inside my carry-on suitcase. I don't need those items to be accessible, as I have this with all that I need to be accessible. Another tip I would give is to tell your flight attendant that you have type 1 diabetes. You don't always know how your blood sugars are going to react in the sky, and your flight attendants are going to be your medical help. What I like about being a flight attendant is that there's no 2 days that are the same. One day you can end up in Moncton, and the next you can end up in Denver. You're always on a different adventure, and the passengers are always different, so your stories are always changing.